Okay, I think we're live. There's no picture though. Oh, there we are. Okay, that is the beauty of going live, ladies and gentlemen, is sometimes there's a little bit of a pause in momentum. But we're here now. So great to see you all. I can see so many of you in the chat already. So thank you so much to everyone that is tuning in. I'm also going to give a shout out to Edson, who is part of the YouTube team at Binance that has been watching and is probably in a little bit of a panic that there was a little bit of a delay getting started. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday. It's been quite a green week for the market. So this live stream is special for a few reasons. First of all, I'm joined by the lovely Alice Liu, Head of Research at CoinMarketCap. Alice, great to have you here. Thank you for joining.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure to have you in the studios, and it's what a better time to pick your brains on what's going on in the market. Now, this live stream is also special because some of you may have noticed or seen on other platforms, and some of you, this might be the first time hearing about it. We do have a giveaway during this live stream, so make sure to click the link in the description for more information. But all we're asking is for you to have a creative comment on this live stream, and you could be in with a chance of winning from a 2 BNB prize pool. We're picking 5 lucky winners to win 0.4 BNB. All you have to do is be subscribed to CoinMarketCap YouTube channel, Binance YouTube channel, and leave a comment which is related to this conversation. And the 5 most creative and entertaining will win. And the campaign will be running until Monday. So that's a little reward for staying in the markets during this month of March. And a big thank you for joining as well. Now, with that being said, I think it's time to dive into what has been going on in the world of crypto. So, Alice, starting off, February was a little bit of a tough month for the market. We did see a retracement of around 20% for Bitcoin. This week, however, we have seen a little bit of a market rally. We are seeing green on CoinMarketCap, a little bit of an uptick. We saw Bitcoin around 86,000 US dollars. So, talk us through the catalyst and some of the reasons for what we saw in the markets this week.
Yes, sure. So we do have quite a good mood in the market right now, and that's boosted from last week. We had a lineup of a few good news coming out for us. Now, first and foremost was the FOMC meeting yesterday about Fed interest rate decisions. And that has shifted the whole market sentiment for us, not just crypto, but also across all the global different markets. There are a few interesting things to look out for, and let me tell you why that is so good for us and setting the tone right for us for the next few months, right? So what did the Fed announce yesterday? A few things. Number one is the interest rate is still staying as it is, which is not very much unexpected by the market, to be honest. People are anticipating that. So we're keeping the interest rate still at 4.25% to 4.5% in the next coming quarter or so by the look of it. But the good thing that we have sensed from yesterday's meeting is the policy language shift. So Fed is taking on a softer tone, and due to the February market conditions that everyone's worried about US recession, everyone's worried about a trade tariff. Now, due to those challenges, I think potentially by the look of it, we're going to have additional liquidity injection into the market in the coming quarter or so. So that's setting the tone right for us. Now, I'm seeing quite a few analysis in the market, which is saying right now, globally, if you look what has been happening for the past 2 years or so, since 2023, when the quantitative tightening started, we might be hitting a historical point of a turning point in the next coming weeks and months to have Fed to stop that quantitative tightening and ready to inject liquidity into the market again. What does that mean? And what will it do for Bitcoin? What will it do for crypto? There's so much capital globally standing on the sideline, and that has been squeezed out of the market for the past 2 years because of global government central bank policies. And now with this turning point, we can start to see those assets and capital flying into risky assets such as equity, such as crypto. And we have seen for the past month or so, for the first time, that Bitcoin is having 0.75. That's the correlation with tech stocks, and that's the highest there has ever been. So by the look of it, we're going to have a boost both in equity market and in crypto in the coming month or so.
Really exciting news. So as you mentioned there, so possibility of 2 interest rate cuts in 2025, plans to trim the quantitative tightening policy. So a positive reaction to the FOMC meeting minutes yesterday. I think also some interesting news that came out yesterday is we did see the announcement that President Trump will be speaking at the Digital Asset Summit today. And this is the first time that we've seen a sitting president in the United States addressing a crypto conference. So there's a lot of sentiment changes that have happened over the course of the last few days that are all fairly positive for the industry. So we'll have to wait and see there. But I think that was a fantastic overview of where we're at currently with the macro and the financial markets. Now let's focus a little bit more on crypto specifically, because there's been a lot of different movements. I think we last spoke, Alice, in I think it was December. And since then, it does feel like a long time. 3 months in crypto feels like a year or two. So let's look at some of the trends that you're seeing on CoinMarketCap, because I think the data platform, and for those that are not familiar with the site or haven't really dived into the full kind of scale of resources that CoinMarketCap offers, absolutely recommend to do so. The data there is fantastic at giving insights on consumer trends, what some of the upticks in different communities and also blockchains are looking like. Can you give us a little bit of insights on maybe some metrics that are standing out for you now and what that could mean for market appetite, please?
Of course. So there are a few very useful tools we have on CMC. I'll leave them to the end. I'll give you guys the alpha first. Now, CoinMarketCap, we have about 400 million visits per month on the website. So we have a lot of data on community engagement and the price of the tokens for the market trends, etc. There are 3 very obvious trends that we're seeing starting this week. Number 1 is the rise of BNB chain, BSC chain, and also the revival of community tokens again. And by that, I mean, led by Sisi himself, actually, a boost to the Memecoins on a BSC chain. And we're saying the DEX volume on BNB has surpassed that of Solana already, which is a milestone. And Pancake Cake right now is one of the top trending DEXs out there in terms of the volume, in terms of the user activities, the new product launch, etc. For Fund, also that's the meme launch platform. That is also giving us very good momentum out there for Memecoin. So we definitely see a comeback of BSC chain, the community on there, and the different projects. That is number 1. Number 2 is we also had Pavel Durov, the CEO of Telegram, now released and came back home to Dubai, to the UAE. So we're seeing, as a consequence of that, Ton Foundation, the whole ecosystem around Ton is having another boost as well. On top of it, some gaming projects. If you look on CMC for the top trending tokens for the past 7 days, you can see a very clear trend. 75% of them are either a top meme coin on the top meme coins on the L1s, or they are the community driven, such as like Pudgy or a gaming project. You see majority of that dominating the trend right now. So community tokens and the top meme coins are making a comeback.
And this is really interesting because I think a lot of the questions around the meme coin culture and where we're standing in March, but as you're seeing a huge uptick in kind of TVL and movement and activity on the meme coin front, which is really interesting. We actually have one question from Crypto Boy, which is, how can I find the best meme coins by using CoinMarketCap, and what points should be noted? And while this, of course, is not financial advice, I think this is a great way for us to explain maybe how to use CoinMarketCap to look at what's trending in any different site actions. So what would you recommend? Because I know if you go onto the homepage of CMC, for example,
it's a lot of tools at your disposal. Yes. We actually recently launched a product called DEX Scan. We enhanced that. So if you go onto CMC homepage, you will see DEX Scan as the second bar on the top there. So there you have a lot of the different, if you click into it, you have the new pairs, trending pairs, meme explorers. We launched the alpha discovery tool over there. So you guys can see it's similar to some of the tools that you already use, like DEX Screener or GMGN, all of those, but we include more chains. So it's not just Solana, not just Ethereum, not just all of that. We also have BSC, and we're building out a few other chains there as well. So great to be, with meme coins, you're always gonna be on point early, gotta be on the move, like when things happens.
Yeah, you've got to be a front runner. You've got to get in there. Okay, fantastic. Great. Thank you. Okay, so next question. You've mentioned Solana a little bit there and the movement that we're seeing in the meme coin space. So despite the meme coin slowdown that we have seen in Solana and Solana's recent retracement, something interesting is we saw Solana ETF futures launch today. So maybe we can start with a little bit of an introduction of what's been happening, excuse me, in the Solana network. And also if this ETF interest could spark some renewed interest in the wider Solana ecosystem. There was a big movement last year with the spot Bitcoin ETFs that I'm sure everyone's familiar with. We then saw in May of last year the spot Ethereum ETFs launch, and that was rather underwhelming and below market expectations, partly just due to the huge success of the spot Bitcoin ETFs that happened just a few months before. I think Solana is a slightly different beast because of you mentioned the meme coin culture that is linked with the Solana ecosystem. And we've got like huge reference to RWAs on Solana and these kind of interests in the ecosystem. So what's your take on what's happening with Solana?
Solana had a very tough month, I would say. And I'm so happy for it to see that it bounced back. Right now it's about 131. And that's up actually quite a bit for the past 7 days. And a few reasons for that. 14th of March to 10th of October. 14th of March to 10th of October this year is going to be quite key for Solana. Why? Because Grayscale Solana Trust, that is the first ETF that put their application in. This is the time window that we're going to have the decision from SEC for a yes or no of Solana ETFs. Now, there are a few key checkpoints during that. On the 14th, it didn't happen, which I think is as expected, but maybe later this year, in Q3, things might happen that Solana ETF might be approved. You made a really good point, Jess, about the ETF approval versus the price, because Ethereum also has the ETF approved, but look at the price. The thing here is AUM, right? So you need to have the demand from institutions to want to buy the token, hence the capital flies in. I agree to your point that Solana is slightly different because the CME futures that launched this week is a very good indication. CME is the platform for institutions to trade futures, and they will not launch a product unless they have the demand from the institutions to do so, right? It gives us a very bullish sentiment indication to see that there is a saying and proven demand from the institution side to trade Solana, and it gives us the good potential to expect Solana ETF to be possibly approved this year. So should that happen, likely to be in Q3, to be honest, we would have quite a good setup in the market. And all it takes is one good meme coin for the L1s like Solana, the L1s for like BNB to pump. And you can see that very clearly this week with the momentum of BNB, and Solana will have its time back again.
Very exciting indeed. We have another question that has come through here, which is a really good one, I think, and I think we can both give some insight here. It's from Abby Creation, is how can users utilize CoinMarketCap's historical data to predict market trends? And while I think with crypto, you can't predict what's going to happen, no one has a crypto kind of crystal ball because crypto is unpredictable. History doesn't repeat, but it certainly does rhyme. And we do say that crypto is cyclical. It typically moves in 4-year cycles. So I think that the first answer to the question is when it comes to predicting market trends, I think you can look at the Bitcoin halving is quite a good benchmark of the kind of price indicator. And then a zoom out of 12 to 18 months after that typically is when you do see a new Bitcoin all-time high. And you use that 4-year market cycle, which is typically timed quite nicely with the Bitcoin halving as quite a good estimation of where we are in the market.
That will be in Q3 for this year, by the way, if the halving cycle works as intended this year. Now, but to your question about how do you use past data or current data to help with a bit of price prediction or give your trade signals, there are a few things you can do on CoinMarketCap. Now, when I look at things, price for sure, like with price, you can do TA. And on CoinMarketCap, by the way, you don't just have the line chart, you have the sort of trading view equivalent, the candle charts as well that you can use to do some TA there. So you use price, you use volume, and that's very obvious on CoinMarketCap. Like you can check the volume of the token going through. We have something really cool for you guys, which I always find quite useful for myself when I do the analysis, which is community sentiment. go on to any coin page, you'll see on the right hand top left, you will see the community voting. And that sentiment is, we aggregated that by we have like voting from users that we collect the data from, but we also analyze any of the comments people are put under the coins. We use natural language analyzing to give a bullish, bearish sentiment there.
Yeah.
So that is very good when you're looking at a shorter time frame, right? If you want to know what's trending today, go on to CoinMarketCap and you can see the trending pairs, and that's based on page view and a lot of the comments and community engagement. That's normally the place where I go to see what's hot this week, and gives quite a good indication also.
You know what? That's a really good answer. And you've actually also just answered. Hasis Salim has also asked, can you share any upcoming features or updates that Binance and CoinMarketCap are working on to enhance the crypto user experience? And actually, that's a really good indicator, is a sentiment gauge of bearish and bullish retail users and how they're looking to gauge the market. Because a temperature check is always good for maybe possibly pre-analyzing before you have traffic surge into a blockchain, but kind of a peak of interest.
Yeah, and also for any crypto portfolio, right? You would have your fundamental analysis on tokens and projects that you believe for the fundamentals. You would also have the trending ones that you want to just trade in and out for price momentum. So we have different tools for different purposes.
Amazing. And to answer from the Binance side of things as well, so Binance launched its first vote to list campaign this week, which is very exciting. So users can participate in the selection process for new token listings. And I can see quite a few people in the comments always wondering about how to get involved and how to suggest and put forward their different community tokens. And this initiative is part of the Binance Community Pro governance model, allowing users to influence over which projects are listed on the exchange. So we will share a link at the end of the live stream with some more information too. But that's probably the answer to those questions. Excellent. Okay, fantastic. Now let's move on. So let's take a look at Bitcoin, because as we've mentioned at the beginning of the stream, February was quite a difficult month for the cryptocurrency asset. We saw a 16% decline and drop in Bitcoin. But now when we look at broader market volatility, so as you mentioned, there are some positive catalysts. Bitcoin volatility does remain fairly high. We saw some pretty extreme liquidations in February. I think they were compared to as liquidation levels that we hadn't seen since the post-FTX crash and crisis. But then we've also seen that President Trump's executive director on digital assets, he's discussed a budget neutral way of acquiring more Bitcoin. And we've seen positive regulatory developments from the US SEC that could help fuel some continued growth in this space. So I'm curious, because there's a lot of information on both sides of the park. What is your outlook on Bitcoin right now?
So interestingly, I was reading a headline yesterday and I couldn't believe it. 500K USD prediction for Bitcoin coming from Standard Chartered.
Wow.
I was like, surely you guys, they're the most bullish on Wall Street for us. No, but so here is their prediction, right? If you guys remember, we've seen so many predictions about BTC at 200K to 250K this year, a few months ago, right? When the market was super bullish. Now, where's that prediction standing? You would be surprised. It's still at 200K, still at 200K outlook for this year for BTC. And that seems to be from a lot of the research houses coming out with that prediction. Now, why? A few things, right? Bottom line is MicroStrategy is still buying, now called Strategy. So we are still seeing institutional demand coming in. Number two, now with the quantitative tightening getting less severe, and then with more projected liquidity getting injected into the market, we are going to see all those capitals that stand on the sideline as a cash liquid asset now coming into the risky asset like Bitcoin, like equities. So some of those, we're definitely going to see more demand on the ETF side for Bitcoin. That seems to be the consensus on Wall Street. So number two is demand from institutions coming up. And number three is Bitcoin's halving cycle that is scheduled normally around 536 days to 549 days post-halving. And that, based on where the market is, that would take us to around October this year. Now, remember, we potentially could have SEC approving additional ETFs, Solana, XRP, who knows, in Q3 as well. Now, by the prediction we have at the beginning of this conversation, Fed could potentially have another interest rate cut coming up soon. With all those aligned, I think price prediction levels for BTC is not as bearish as people would have saying in February. I know the morale was down, and we had CMC, Crypto Fair, and Greed drop down to 17. Still, it's not that bad. Right now, we're bouncing back 31, Fair and Greed. We're sort of going to the more recovering phase now. Looking at it, Q3 is going to be a very good quarter for us.
Very interesting. And I think you've mentioned there as well with the halving. So there is the kind of the question mark around the supply squeeze of just how much Bitcoin can be created per week. And then you've got the spot Bitcoin ETF inflows and the numbers that are coming out by the likes of BlackRock, Grayscale, and Van Eck. We have an interview with James Seyfarth coming on the channel next week.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and it just shows the optimism that we are seeing on Wall Street, as you have mentioned, for spot Bitcoin ETF inflows. And obviously from the kind of custodian element, there is going to be some supply ramp ups and engagement there. Now, there's one question which has come up, and I know we spoke about this on our last live stream, which was a few months ago, and it's from Nick, by the way, so thank you for the question. And the questions that are coming through are fantastic, by the way, so thank you to everyone that has submitted them. We'll try and get through as many as we can. Under what criteria does CoinMarketCap create new categories of coins and tokens? And I think we can reference the US category that came out just as we saw the inauguration of Trump, and we saw a lot of the tokens that were maybe created under the US ecosystem. So Solana was on there. There was a few others that the SEC may have had question marks over in the kind of not as crypto-friendly SEC jurisdictions. And then fast forward, CoinMarketCap created a US created tokens that people could go on and identify which tokens were US, made in the USA. So how do you determine where the interest comes from and what kind of new categories to list?
Yeah, of course. First thing is we do have a category for everything. So on the broader categories list that you can see on CMC, we do have it covered for pretty much every tokens. It's just a matter of if we give them the fire emoji on the top and ping them at the top or not. That's the first thing, right? This how we determine categories is a blend of quantitative, qualitative, 80% quant, 20% qualitative. Now, how it works. Of course, we have the page view data for sure. We have the page view data and community engagement. So when we see a spike of interest among the communities for certain trends, we capture that, we aggregate it as a category and ping it at the top to make it easier for users to find. Now that comes about 80% of the contribution. Another 20% is a debate among the team. We do have a very big content team. I lead the research side and we follow the market very closely every day. We live and breathe on crypto Twitter. So any trend that we're seeing in the market qualitatively, be it from news, be it from Twitter, from X, from any of the debate, we have it internally at the organization debate. And because we do have so many good resources linking up with exchanges, for example, we can see the volume in the market to lead us to the direction as well.
Amazing. One of the questions, so from Knowledge Guru, he's asked a few, and we'll read out this one in particular because all of them were great. If you had to predict one cryptocurrency or blockchain trend that would dominate headlines in 2026,
26.
It's light years away in crypto. Crypto time moves differently. 2020, we've only just got used to saying 2025 on live streams. But in 2026, what would it be and why?
So before the H2 of 2024, I didn't even know DeFi with the FAI is a thing, right? So you don't know what you don't know. I don't know what new words we're gonna come up with in 2026 for that. I know for sure 2025 is going to be the year for RWA, is going to be the year for AI, AI-enabled DeFi. Those seems to be very strong narratives. Memecoins will be here to stay. And meme related products will be refined for even more, like to enable that fair launch at the beginning again. So a few of the very strong infrastructure projects we're seeing recently for the past month or two, it's very good signal to bring us back to utility season again. You know, it's about building the infrastructure, the L2s, the DeFi stuff. So those I know are for 2025 for sure. 26.
Who knows? The feedback that I had from people that attended ETH Denver recently was really positive. So I think we could see a potential uptick in more of the Ethereum ecosystem. I know a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen with Ethereum next and how it's going to move forward. Absolutely agree with you on RWAs. I think that was a huge scratching of the surface last year with RWAs as just a narrative that people were getting used to, and deep in as well was a really interesting one. But I think we are nowhere near yet at the integration levels that blockchain has the potential to be when it comes to decentralized physical infrastructure across different elements. We're based in Dubai, so we could see, and obviously this is not financial advice, but we could see the start of, and we have heard some conversations around real estate being tokenized and utilized property. And for those of you that have been to Dubai, there is buildings and skyscrapers everywhere. So the possibility and the conversations that are being had, if you come to cryptocurrency conferences and listen to some of the conversations here, is pretty exciting. But I absolutely agree with you that 2026, it is impossible to know what will happen.
And I have a very interesting data and a bit of advice for, if I may, for this market cycle, which is so different to the previous one. 9 days. 9 days is the amount of time a token stays trending on CMC with the price performance. I know a lot of you guys are hodlers in previous rounds, right? So you are used to buy things, hold for a long time. For this market cycle, because of all the different trending narratives going on, we see such a big music chair play. If you miss your 9-day windows, you miss the performance there. So compare with previous market cycles, you got to be more quick at trading this market cycle to capture that trend, because an out season is not going to be the same as last time. Last time when out season comes, everything pumps. This time the market is too big for everything to be pumped for out season. You got to be more frequent, more diligent with your portfolio in and out. HODL is good, but HODL with moderation.
That is some fantastic alpha. So 9 days. So it also just shows how fast paced the industry is and how quick the crypto space moves.
Does that mean if I go away for 9 days for my holiday, I lose my knowledge and job?
You might miss a whole market trend. You'll come back and be out of the loop. To be honest, I think that is a recurring thing for everyone in crypto. And you guys that are watching, you can comment if you agree. But if you do turn your phone off, even for 24 hours in crypto, you could miss quite a lot of exciting movements and hustle and bustle that happens. So let's move on, because there's a very nice question that I saw, and let me just find it. A huge thank you to everyone for the questions, by the way. We didn't intend to go through this many, but they all look so good that
I don't get to see the questions at all, by the way. She's just firing it away.
I'll share my screen, because that way we can have it a little bit more open. But this was a very nice one. This was to do with, let me find it. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so this was a good one. It was from Chanka Gamer, and it was, what advice would you give to new crypto enthusiasts that are looking to get involved in the space? And how can Binance and CoinMarketCap support them? So I think this is a good one, because a lot of people will look at the market conditions that they see now, the size of the industry and the ecosystems that are created, and almost watch from the sidelines and maybe be deterred from getting in just because they view the industry as too vast. There's people that might share how long they've been in this space, and it can be quite intimidating. I think the one thing I would say, first of all, is you're never too late to get in crypto. And even Michael Saylor himself, who is the Bitcoin bull of MicroStrategy, now Strategy, he even says when he gives his talks, you never stop learning about Bitcoin. I think that's so important to remember. So you never know everything. You're never too late to get involved in the space and to educate yourself. So for those of you asking the question, never too late to start. But what advice would you give?
I would say a combination of data and qualitative information. Data, you have so many different tools at your disposal now. The market is a lot more mature compared with previous cycles. CMC, of course, we would love to see you guys on here. Use a lot of the tools and data points that we have for you. Let us know what else you need. So that's for data. Also, right, when you go into specific sectors, for example, if you look at RWA stuff, you have dedicated tools and data platforms there. If you trade Memecoins, you have dedicated tools and platforms for that also. So utilize all those specialized tools and products when you're a bit more advanced. I want to touch upon the qualitative side, because Jess, that's one thing I think you do really well. You bring in all the different guests from their topic experts and do live things with you. So I think this time around for resources like this can be quite good because it really gives an aggregation for users to come and join you every podcast and just hear from different parts of the industry. So that's awesome to have.
Fantastic. Oh, thank you. And I think another thing as well is events. So I know the in real life event element is something as well, which definitely humanizes the cryptocurrency space. And you've spoken at previous Binance Blockchain Weeks as well, and it's always great to see
That
you
was
there.
so fun, by the way. Really fun conference.
She's a star. But it's amazing to see everyone that you speak to online, you might speak to on CryptoX. And if you are watching crypto from the sidelines, you get to go to these events. And I think something that's really remarkable, and actually we captured this in our Binance Blockchain Week documentary, which is on the YouTube channel, also available on Amazon, which is really exciting, is a lot of these speakers that are industry leaders in their own field that contribute to so many different cryptocurrency ecosystems will walk around the expo floor afterwards, and you can stop them and ask questions. You can go to different booths and ask them. And a lot of people come to these events, and some people do. I've heard some real success stories of people that have come and they've left with internships, contacts of possible new business mentors, or even sometimes jobs and roles from different sponsors or people that are attending, just looking to acquire some new and additional talent. So I would say really just put yourself out there. If you are looking to get involved in crypto, there are so many ways to do it, but it's an extremely welcoming industry because everyone at some point has always been brand new to the space. Okay. And let's do this one as a final question. So this is what's next for Binance and CoinMarketCap in terms of innovation and community engagement?
Sure. One thing I think we definitely want to use more and build out more for you guys for this market is more on-chain data because that brings a lot of insight. So things like on-chain, like DEX data, on-chain stats. Also, we wanted to see if anything we can do with more social sentiment, maybe even with some AI-enabled stuff to help with analysis. Those are the things and tools that we intend to give to benefit users a lot more.
Fantastic. Yeah, and I think that's a really, really good way to utilize AI. A lot of people are wondering how can AI be used to really benefit you as the end user? And that's a great way to really indicate because there is so much going on in the world of crypto, it's hard to keep up. So I really, really appreciate it. And I'm always on CoinMarketCap. I think it's one of the main websites that I use for my crypto information. So that sounds fantastic. And from Binance's side as well, so I would say for those that are looking to hear a little bit more, as we've mentioned, with the Binance the first batch of vote to list projects, the Binance Square official site has a little bit more information, but do take a look because each user can now vote for up to 5 projects. And that's a really exciting way for us just to have that governance barrier to entry for everyone that's looking to get involved and to really kind of give back to the community and see where their areas of interest are. Fantastic. So Alice, final kind of benchmark of anything to keep as something to keep in mind for the next kind of few weeks in crypto, anything you're keeping an eye out for, any events that you'll be attending, what is on your calendar?
So for the next few weeks, I think definitely we're still seeing the trend of community related tokens coming into like play. So things like the SA chain, a lot of things on Solana, a lot of the things on Tom ecosystem, and all the traditional large cap stuff like XRP. We've seen again Ethereum was having a good momentum yesterday. They can have another boost in the market together with BTC as well, of course. Now, for the events, I think in April there will be quite a few events going on, both in Europe and Dubai. I'm trying to sort out my travel schedule, but Token 2049 here in Dubai would be a good one. CMC might be doing something as well.
Fantastic. Thank you. Really exciting. Well, to everyone that has joined, a huge thank you for everyone joining us. Alice, it was so great to have you here, and we'll have to have you back because you share so much wisdom that is always fantastic. And I've definitely got a few takeaways as well to keep in mind
Thank you.
for the future. And thank you guys for the questions as well. It was so fantastic to answer some of them. So a huge thank you to all of them. And do keep in mind that we still have the campaign running. So good luck to everyone that's involved, and we'll see you all in the next one. If you've not yet, do make sure to subscribe to the channel and also share your comments with how you found the live stream and any feedback that you have for us. We do check the comments and we love hearing from you. See you next time.
Have a great week.